going to have takes on all this stuff. Go inform yourself. Decide for you how you feel. Watch the stuff I put out. Watch the stuff they put out. Read the initiative yourself and actually read it, not the Cliff Notes version, not the FAQ, not the the drilled down version. Read what they've put up, and that's important. And once you're informed, then make a decision for yourself. I will always say that every time.
Hello, hello. It's me, Double the Black, and I'm just gonna cut to the chase. The Stop Killing Games situation, kinda crazy. And with all the people talking about it, I realized that I personally have never actually read it. So, if you live in the EU and you believe in the cause of Stop Killing Games, hey, they can go to the link in the description and you can fill out the form, the petition, so you get those signatures up. But I'm just going to begin by just reading, and hopefully I don't make a lot of mistakes because there's a lot of big words and I'm kind of stupid. Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement started in. Oh my god. Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement started to challenge the legitimacy of publishers destroying video games. They have sold to customers. An increasing number of video games are sold effectively as goods, with no stated expiration date, but designed to be completely unplayable as soon as support from the publisher ends. This practice is a form of planned obsolescence and not only detrimental to customers, but make preservations effectively impossible. Furthermore, like wait, le, furthermore, the legality of this practice is largely untested in many countries. Over the past year, we have successfully escalated complaints on this problem to to consumer agencies in France, Germany, and Australia, and have brought the petition for new law on this problem to various countries. A list of actions taken to date can be viewed here. As of 2025, most consumer actions on this matter has concluded, and we are awaiting decisions on it from several governments. However, there are a few remaining avenues left where people can participate if they're legally eligible. This is where it states if you are the EU, you can sign up to sign the petition. European Citizens Initiative. This is the most powerful option at our disposal, but it requires a massive number of signatures from citizens of the EU countries in order to pass. If we got past this signature threshold, there is a very strong case that the European Commission will pass a new law that will both protect consumer rights to retain video games that they have purchased and advance preservation efforts massively. These remaining options, unfortunately, it states, see, the petition to the UK government, UK citizens and residents can sign a petition where, if it passes 100,000 signatures, new law will be considered to be brought before Parliament for debate to prohibit publishers from destroying video games that consumers have already paid for. In contacting the UFC, I don't know what chores, I don't know how to say that, with complaints on the crew, and if you are French and owned a copy of the crew in any capacity, please consider following our guide for submitting information that may be sent to the UFC Q core choirs. I don't know how to say that, but these remaining options unfortunately exclude citizens from other countries from participating directly, but all other options we have found are either exhausted or already underway. It is worth stating that it is worth stating that if there's success on this issue in major countries, customers globally will likely benefit from the change, as well due to the market force. While it can be frustrating being unable to act in other countries, the most effective action to take is to spread the word these initiatives to those who are eligible to sign. If you wish to prevent video games from being destroyed so no one can ever play them again, please tell others about the initiative. And there's another one. There's another thing right here about what the whole thing is about. is what the when they registered the movement. Okay, I believe, but the petition. I believe. Right. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And this is on Stop Destroying Video Games. Link in the description. This initiative calls to require publishers that sell or license video games to customers in the European Union or related features and assets sold in video games they operate to leave said video games in a functional, playable state. Specifically, the initiative seeks to prevent the remote disabling of video games by the publishers before providing reasonable means to continue functioning of said video games without the involvement from the side of the publisher. The initiative does not seek to acquire ownership of said video game, associated intellectual rights, or monetization rights. Neither does it expect the publisher to provide resources for said video game once they continue it while leaving it in a reasonable, functioning, playable state. Okay, in the annex, video games have grown in video games have grown into an industry with billions of customers, worth hundreds of billions of euros. During this time, a specific business practice in the industry has been slowly emerging that is not only an assault on basic consumer rights, but it's destroying the medium itself. An increasing number of publishers are selling video games that are required to connect to their to through the internet to the game publisher or phone home to function. While this is not a problem in itself, when support ends for those types of games, very often publishers simply sever the connection necessary for the problem to function. Proceed to destroying all working copies of the game and implement extensive measures to prevent to prevent the customer from repairing the game in any way. This practice is effectively robbing customers of their practice and makes restoration impossible. Besides being an affront on consumer rights, video games themselves are unique creative works like film or music. One cannot be simply substituted with another. By destroying them, it represents a creative loss for everyone involved and erases history in ways not possible in other mediums. Existing laws and consumer agencies are ill prepared to protect consumers against this practice. The ability for a company to destroy an item it has already sold to a customer long after the fact is not something that is normally occurs in other business other under industries. With license agreements required to simply run the game, many existing consumer protections are circumvented. This practice challenges the concept of ownership itself, where the consumer is left without nothing after buying, quote unquote, a game. We wish to invoke Article 17, what symbol is that? 1 of the Charter of the Fundamental Rights of the European Union. No, which states no one may be deprived of his or her possessions except in the public interest and in cases and under the conditions provided by law, subject to fair compensation being paid in good time for their loss. This practice deprives European citizens of their property by making it so they lose access to their product in indeterminate, arbitrary amount of time after the point of sale. We wish to see the, we wish to see this remedied at the core of this initiative. We also invoke Title 15, right? X is 10, Title 15 of, or 25, 15 of the Treaty of Functioning of European Union. In the following TFEU article as our justification and the Union's imperative to respond to this initiative. So, Article 169. The EU has the obligation to promote the interests of consumers and to ensure a level of consumer protection to protecting the health, safety, and economic interests of consumers. We believe this practice infringes upon the requires correction to how do you say that? Comment commensurate stray. Oh my, with the EU's obligation. The action taken is responsible to this initiative must supersede any end user license agreement associated with video games. Article 12 Consumer protection requirements shall be taken into account in defining and implementing other unions' policies and activities. Given that this practice extends across member states and beyond the EU, the union's actions regarding this practice ought to keep consumers' protection in mind. The action taken in response to this initiative must supersede any end user license agreement associated with video games. Article 144. Article 114. Ugh. The Commission in its proposals how do you say, envisage in our paragraph 1 concerning health issues and safety, environmental protection and consumer protections will take as a base a high level of protection. Within their representative powers, the European Parliament and Council will also seek to achieve their objective. This practice undermines the high level of consumer protections that the Commission, the European Parliament, and Council takes as a basis of law in the Union, and the objective of establishing and maintaining the function of the internal market as described in Article 1 of this article, or Section 1 of this article, in Article 26, the TFEU. And then it states the organization, the or organizers, which is which that's not part of the message, but that is the information on it. I actually have never read it, and it was kind of nice actually reading it. I think this is I can read this too, but I'm pretty sure this is the same thing that this one says. But this initiative calls to require publishers that sell or license video games to consumers uh, in the European Union or related features and assets sold for video games that are operable to leave said video games in a functional, playable state. Specifically, the initiative seeks to prevent the remote disabling of video games by publishers before providing the reasonable means to continue functioning of said video games without the involvement from the side of the publisher. The initiative does not seek to acquire ownership of said video game, associated intellectual rights, or monetizational rights. Neither does it expect the publishers to provide resources for said video game once they discontinue it while leaving it in a reasonably functional, playable state. And currently, right now, it has 481,416 signatures, and hopefully it gets to that million. And if you live in the EU, please go to the link in the description and sign the petition. Cause hey, it's sad that I'm an American because I want to fill it out too. But that's it, and that's all. And hey, that's crazy, right?